Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to get messy. I made some slime for another project and I've got an excess of it basically. So I was going to play with it, I still am going to play with it, but I also had another idea. I have got a little wooden piece, a little offcut of wood here that was for another project but it wasn't big enough, so I cut a bigger one. I'm going to try and make a hand, a bit like that, so we can go up on the wall like that. Maybe a little bit of wrist involved, we'll see. So I've got some foil, I'm going to make a bit of an armature. I've got loads of eyes, so I'm going to use up some of those. I purchased some really cheap false nails, not for me, I don't do that, they bust off in a second, far too hands-on. And the slime, hot glue gun to glue the armature to the base, slime all over the hand, eyes pressed in the slime, nails pressed in at the end of the fingers, heat gun to try and stop it from going too droopy. Let's see if this will work. So first things first, let's put that over there. We're going to make some fingers. Now I want them to be really thin. So I want them to be able to support as well the weight of everything. And we'll shape them to how we want them in a second. So we want to do 4 fingers and a thumb. So we can make this one slightly thicker than the rest. Now we'll get these all put on the hand first and then we'll work at shaping them where we want them. So fingers and thumb, palm. Let's move this up there for a second. Probably no bigger than that. So let's look at starting to put these in. Yeah. So we're going to want these. We'll put one more. The slime will hold that where we want it to stay. So we're going to want these fingers bent quite a bit around. A bit like that. So what we're going to do first is glue that where we want it. Now it's going to end up oozing onto the board anyway, so we don't mind the glue getting about a bit. Right, now we shouldn't need that for anything else, so I'm going to turn that one off. We're just going to give that a moment to dry before we do anything else. Okay, we're back. We're nice and dry. We're not going anywhere. let's see if this works. Now, I've got a couple of pairs of gloves on. I'm going to see how this goes, applying it with my hand, and if that fails, I'll apply it with a knife. So let's scoop a blob out. I think it's going to be knife. We might have to do this in layers. We're going to stop there. Get the hot air gun into action. Get rid of one of these layers. Right, I'm going to scooch those all up there for the second because they don't like the hot air. They probably won't either. Right, so there'll be a little flash forward because you won't hear me over this. Okay, I think that's heated. I think that's dried enough that we can smear more on there without worry of the foil moving underneath. So let's continue trying it how we have been, putting it on with our hands. Pinching and applying. Now, we don't mind this. It's going to be the nature of the beast. We don't mind it getting all slippy sloppy and bumpy and bobbly, as long as the foil is covered. This stuff is so sticky. Right, as long as there's no foil showing. There is. Little devil. And the gloves are going to come on again. I can't pull them back up now, because both my hands are covered in this. Right. We're going to get the gloves off now. And what we're going to do now is not touch her. We'll move her with the paper. We're going to try and push all the bits in where we want them. So, nail. But we got to get everything in before we start applying the heat. So let's just start pressing eyes in, because they've got to be sunk in. Which isn't going to be such the issue because it's really thick. We've got to move quick because they're going to want to get pushed out. So this is where the random nature is going to come in, because we're not going to be thinking about this. We're just going to, well, not too much anyway, we're just going to be putting them in, squishing them in. I'll try and get more little ones involved, just the little ones are harder. I'm going to push them in quite far because, like I said, they're going to want to keep getting pressed out. But we'll go round at the end with some paint to help merge the ones that have protruded a bit too much. And under that one's going to be tricky. Not doable, just tricky. Right. Oh, get back in there, you. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give that a little blast with the heat. I will show you all what it looks like right now, though. We're looking really cool. Really gross. Really cool. that way just a little bit. That one just that way, just a tiny bit. That way just a tiny bit. Yeah. All those eyes just watching you. Okay, we are back. Freaky eyeball hand creature thing is dry. And a little bit cracked in places, but that is fine. Really cracked in places. That is fine. It's not going anywhere. So what we're going to do now is we've got to tatter up these nails a bit. Start getting some washes involved. Using all that we have to hand. Don't think the green's gonna really cut it, but we'll put it over there just in case. So let's see if we can chip up these nails a bit and scratch them up. So we're gonna just start out by simply notching some bits out and scratching the surface up a bit. I'm doing this very carefully so I don't want to lose control and cut myself. I don't want this to be that real that it's actually got me involved in it like that. Put that away so we don't want any incidences. Right, let's get that one back in there where it belongs. What do we say? I think we'll do the washes first and then we'll look at if we're gonna slime edges up or not. So let's get, we're going to start out with, we'll just do a little test at the bottom, see how this looks. This is just straight up black. We don't want to go over the eyes, but we want to go around them. I think the straight up black is going to work. So let's start at the top then. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the next about half an hour. So we will flash forward at this point. Acceptably grim at this point, and this has definitely brought it all together. Like I say, we don't mind the cracks because we might even bring in the Nurgle's rot. So it could be oozing in places as well. So yeah, we are going to let her dry. Okay, we are back. The hand has been washed and is fully dry. And looks well creepy. Busting up the nails was a good idea. Now we're going to add a little bit of sort of pustulness. So I've got a little bit of Nurgle's rot left. So I think I'm going to put that in some of the cracked areas. Pussing around a little bit. You might not use the Yoo-hoo glue at this point. Might not be needed. Let's pop you over there. I do love this paint a little bit too much. Sometimes it's almost any excuse to use it. We're going to use this a little bit more sparingly. Right, I think we're going to let that dry. And then we may or may not varnish that when it's dry. We'll see how it looks. I, however, am going to go and clear up because I'm all redded. That is really good paint. Really good paint. And I think we probably won't be using this, so I'm going to pop that away. So we will come back in a moment when our absolutely gorgeous hand here with the most pristine nails is all dry and ready for either our final shot or if we're going to varnish it or not. This is how we are looking at the moment, just so you can all see what I can see. Look at those gross nails now. There is so much. Oh, you get that in focus? Yeah, there is so much behind those nails right now. A little bit of the old pussing going on in places. That's looking so cool. So yeah, we're going to let that dry, come back, make a decision. Okay, we are back. Hand. Eyeball hand. Freaky hand. Call it what you like. It's finished. And it is beckoning you. That is so cool. I've decided not to varnish it because that would take away from the little bits of shine where you can see the pus and the gore. But what is cool, well, I'll just show you this. This is our finished piece. How cool is that? Just for a use of leftover slime, some cheap false nails, a random offcut of wood, a bit of paint, and a load of googly eyes. But what's really cool is if I turn the lights out, turn this light out, I love the effect of the UV light on the eyeballs. How cool is that? That is so cool. Oh, look at that. I could play around with this for quite a bit, but I won't. We're going to wrap it up. So thank you so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out and what we were getting up to today. I will have to find a place to put this. I kind of want to hang it up on the wall somewhere because I think it's better like that. Either beckoning you or pointing to you. I do hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've taken some ideas of just random things you can make with quite literally some random bits and pieces. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.